Hello there. Welcome back to this little corner on BookTube. I wanted to make a video today about looking ahead at my reading goals for 2024, figure out which goals and habits I really want to cultivate and achieve in the next 12 months when it comes to my reading. If you're new here, hi, my name is Lillian. I love talking about books, reading, writing, creativity, storytelling, all of it. I love all of it and I love talking about all of it. If that interests you, you can feel free to subscribe and stick around and hear more from me. I think the key word for 2024 for me is going to be balance. And let's get into it. Now, without having gone back and rewatched any of the goal setting videos that I made for myself at the beginning of 2023, I can tell you I'm pretty sure I don't think I completed pretty much any of my goals. Now, when I do look back at the beginning of 2023, my life was pretty different then. I was still on the job hunt and was unemployed and thus had copious amounts of free time on my hands. I was also at a point in my life where I was really craving a sense of structure and purpose. And so I found a means of doing that by making all of these reading goals and TBR lists to structure my year around. Personally, I really enjoy making TBR lists and TBR videos. In general, just daydreaming about all of the reading that I want to do. It's fun to daydream about possibilities, right? However, I would say overall one of the big lessons for me in 2023 throughout various aspects of my life is to not fill my glass to the brim constantly, even if it's with things that I love, because it can make it really difficult to pivot when you need to without spilling everywhere when life happens, and life always happens, right? So with all of this in mind, I'm planning on in 2024 to definitely move away from the uber structured, checklist oriented headspace that I approached my 2023 reading year with. I am still definitely interested in checking out the books that I mentioned in those TBR videos and goal videos that I made a year ago. And if you happen to be interested in what those are, I will link those videos up in the cards down below if you have any interest in checking them out. One of the main goals that I do want to set for 2024 is finding a better sense of balance between structure and spontaneity when it comes to my reading habits. I think I'm going to try leaning a little bit more into mood reading this coming year and seeing how that goes, keeping in mind that it's not a rush to the finish line. Another big goal for me this year is to really focus on the books that I already own. Most of the books that I read in 2023 ended up being audiobooks or ebooks that I checked out from my library. And while I do love those formats for reading, I found that by the end of the year I was really craving having a physical book in my hand. When I put myself on a book buying ban for last year, part of my reasoning behind doing that was to refocus my attention on the books that I already owned. I think for me and probably a lot of folks, it's very easy to get caught up in the shiny new release. I think overall I did an okay job of whittling down some of the books that I own on my shelves. But looking back at 2023, I think instead of buying new books, I got easily distracted by audiobooks that I could check out from my library and new releases that I could ask to review on NetGalley. And now that I've realized that this is a habit or a pattern of mine, I think I'll have a better time being able to push back against it and turn my attention back to all of the unread books on my shelves. So I'm not planning to do a hard no buy year like I did last year, but I do want to keep an eye on the number of books that I'm bringing into my collection versus how many I'm actually reading of the ones that I already own. I don't have any hard parameters around this at the moment, and at some point I might make some for myself, but I think for now my goal is going to be to not bring more books in than I am reading of the books that I've already owned. At some point I think I'd like to make a video talking about some of the things and lessons that I learned during my no-buy book year. Let me know if you'd be interested in seeing that. This next goal kind of goes hand in hand with the previous one, and that is not to shy away from the nonfiction that I have on my shelves, particularly the academic texts. Something that I keenly miss now that I'm out of a higher education setting is an environment that fosters academic thought and analysis and discourse on subjects that really interest me. And while I may not be surrounded by people who are also reading and analyzing the same texts as I am, that doesn't mean I have to forego experiencing, continuing studying subjects that really bring me joy and really hold a lot of interest for me. And this may sound silly, but I think I need to remind myself that I'm still allowed to engage in academic learning and study even though I'm no longer in higher education. Overall, at the end of the day, the main thing that I want to take with me and keep with me throughout the year is a reminder to just have fun with it. I can easily sort of get caught up in this completionist mindset and needing to check off X number of books per month and keep up with this TBR or that reading goal. And I definitely want this year to be one where I take a step back and put less pressure on myself when it comes to things that bring me joy. Those are my somewhat loosey-goosey reading goals for 2024. I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble and wax poetic in this video. Let me know what some of your reading goals are for this coming year. Are there any books that you are super excited to get to? If you're interested in following along for my 2024 reading journey and you aren't already subscribed, feel free to subscribe. I would love to have you. It's currently wrap-up season on my channel where I sort of look back and review and wrap up my 2023 reading year. And next week I'll be putting out my favorite graphic novels that I read in 2023 video, so stay tuned for that. But with that, I think I need to wrap up this video and get it out to you all. But I will see you all in my next video. Bye.